we do it?
Sucking our own dicks for
We
the last
have,
half an
man.
hour.
But, you know,
Let's just,
sometimes, you know, when you're finished a live show and you've done your 2 seasons, you have to take a step back, give yourself a hot minute, and fellatiate each other. Bring yourself to fruition. Work the hammy shaft, squeeze, choke the chicken, and just squirt that dirt in the velocity of your viscosity right into your depravity cavity. Let that custard chucker fly and leave those panties sunny side up. And in the background, all you hear is like, Tina Turner's dead! Welcome to Season 3, Episode 1 of Press Any Buttons to Continue. My name is Keith, the man who at the tender age of 7 tried to trade a strawberry winder, Pop-Tart and a penguin bar for a first edition Charizard. And I'm joined by my co-host Nisha. Legend says to this day he is still conning children on the playground out of their lunch money. That's right, today we're taking you back to a time where all you had to worry about was a checklist of Pogs, Beyblades, Pokemon cards and a crushed Brennans bread tuna sandwich crushed under 60 kilograms of books. Whether you were a teacher's pet or a class clown, there will always be something for everyone. From the confiscated Gameboys, Tamagathcis and the very daring students brought in a FURBY, to the detentions you received for hitting Billy a little too hard after he beat you in Mario Kart. That's right, today we're taking you through the nostalgic journey of Schoolyard stories. But don't worry, we'll have you home in time to catch the latest episode of Dragon Ball Z. Welcome back to Press Any Button to Continue!
Oh, I love it, man. That was so good. It's always so good. And it's even sweeter now. It's even sweeter now, man. It's even
What
sweeter.
a banging topic to come back on into.
Yeah, it's so good, isn't it? There's so much. This is the most, well, not the most, but this is a super nostalgic episode.
It
Like,
really is.
Everyone's into this.
Full disclosure, which is funny, I was just texting my pals that I went to school with before this episode, and I was cry laughing. I was cry laughing remembering some of the stories. I don't know how much video games is going to be in this story today, but it really truly doesn't matter. I mean, there's nothing like coming back with a bang, not talking about video games. You know, really,
it's very us. It's very
us.
on brand. But how are you? How are you feeling about today, man? Are you excited? Are you happy?
I am very excited. I have a coffee here. I'm buzzing to go.
Nice.
We just came back from doing our very first live show, Nisha.
We did indeed. Yeah, we did our first live podcast at Gamerfest, and it was amazing. I had so much fun. There was a really good group of people there. Me and you had a really good time. We burst through our set list of topics that we thought was going to last us 45 minutes in the first 10 minutes.
We did. We got excited. We might have, I've exhausted myself a little too early, love. Sorry about that. You know what I mean? We might have prematurely squirted our dirt and then just did what we do best. You know what I mean? Yeah. Fucking
talk.
Which is act like two absolute gobshites talking shite down into a void. Do you know what I mean?
But it was so much fun, man. It was a really cool experience.
It was fantastic, and a big thank you to Gamerfest for having us up.
Huge thanks to Gamerfest, yeah.
And also
really cool.
the people who came to see us. We saw some friendly faces there.
There was so many people, man.
So many
nice.
friendly faces there. Saw Jacku, we saw Claire, we saw Corey. Popping all the way up to say hello.
Fair play, Corey. There was loads of people there. There was Emma from Once Upon a Quest.
Yes, it was great to see.
There was Estakuma, who is a 3D printer from Cork.
Mm-hmm.
There was loads of people. There was Jack the Basics, the legend who did record the podcast. So there is
a bit of fan gaming as well was there as well.
Fran.
Do a little bit of cream and drumming.
And Sam.
And Sam, we have to give a big thank you out to my very good friend Sam.
Absolute legend. Such a cool guy. Yeah. He's officially our marketing manager.
Officially, he came up and was like, what you need help with. Came around, was giving out our cards, our stickers, getting people to come to the show, anything we needed, was just there for support. Came up on stage with us in the end.
He did. And Auntie Tinkerbell joined us on stage as well.
Yes.
So it was really cool. So fair play to them. But yeah, it was great, man. It was so much. And Kieran, Buzz the Bee, Kieran for looking after us as well.
Thank you. Who
gave us the nice the icebreaker of a joke of push any button.
Oh my God. Yeah, we came
And
there.
we were like,
we looked at the schedule and it's like at 2:00, so we're pressing you button to continue, hopefully you know at this stage. And at 2:00, who was performing live? Some sort of competitor who was trying to steal our spotlight called Push the Button.
yeah. Now, to be fair, when we were on stage, it was press any button.
It was, but we were like, it was so funny arriving up and we're like, who the fuck is Push the Button?
yeah.
Are the Sugar Babes performing their big hit, Push the Button and Let Me Know Before I Get the Wrong Idea and Go, you know you. Oh my God.
The whole weekend was really cool. I thought it was a fantastic event. Had so much fun. We got to meet up with Paddy and Dermo and the lads. There was like a Sonic the Hedgehog time trial competition going on over at the National Computer and Video Game Museum.
God,
the
yes.
lads had a setup, and little did they know that Patrick was coming along, one of the
God.
world record holders, and I was like, he's just gonna clean up here.
It was, and
he just sat down straight away.
He did. He won he won Sonic Lego straight away as a prize. It was done. Now I would like to put a special mention to Dermot, Paddy's friend, who was what a fucking lovely gentleman. First of all, like. You know, when
all of the lads.
Oh, amazing! Do you know when you just meet people and they have like a good vibe and energy about them?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Dermot is a Street Fighter champion. And so I said, do you know what I mean? As the video game boy that I am, as the, you know, if anyone watches my stream, you know I'm a professional video game player, right? I say that with all sarcasm. You know, took him down and absolutely, and I know the group of lads will appreciate this. I beat him. I slapped his tatas and I embarrassed him nationally in front of crowds. I took him out to the cleaners, that would be said. And some say to this day he will never show his face outside the house again. So just a big shout out to Dermot. Much respect to you for taking on the challenge.
Oh, that was so funny. Man. What did you do? Did you like alter the settings on Street Fighter and he didn't know?
No, of course not. This was all pure Keith skill. He got crushed by a commoner, and his elitist pride was really hurt. The really funny thing as well is he decided to play the new Street Fighter next door, and he lost that game as well.
Poor Demo.
Oh, it was so
Absolute
good.
gent.
Oh, 10
Absolute
out of 10,
gent.
10 out of 10. I may have turned the handicap settings all the way up, but I mean, you know, like that's fair. I'm new.
But it was just really good event. I did enjoy the creator panel that was on at the start. Got some really interesting kind of insight into the people that were there that had millions and millions of followers. And then just all the people, man. You know, meeting Brian from the arcade who I've seen around, Retro Ralph with the retro gaming setup. There was Garrett, there was Streamer Elite, there was Arcane Pain. There was so many people. And then one thing I actually was writing my notes, right, and this is totally you don't know about this, but you know, we met Claire and Jacob.
Jacob Koopman, the best-selling Dublin singer extraordinaire. Yes.
Yeah. And Claire was saying she listens to us when she goes to sleep. And you know the way we do the odd time we do a little ASMR episode. I thought maybe we can do a little.
Oh, Claire. Scratchy. Rate 5 stars, you fuck.
You're going to sleep.
Yeah.
Rated 5 stars.
Oh, we're in the bed with you.
Oh, jeez.
The whole scenario. Oh, we're deep in your ears.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, yeah. All ASMR is a little bit sexual. Sometimes you just gotta roll. Yeah. Oh, it's so hot and steamy. What the fuck? Oh my God, Jacob, what are you doing? Did I just call him Jacob? Yeah, that is his name. Oh my God, it's like we're all together. It's funny because we were talking about this afterwards. Do you know what I mean? It's like you know, it's like we're part of, you know, polyamorous relationship with this podcast with them in their relationship. I would also like to say a big thank you. They got me a little Pokemon gift as well. Yeah, which is very, very sweet
nice
of them.
So some good. We got a few goodies up there as well. Those shadow boxes that we got from me, myself, and Misha. That artist. You got the Wind Waker.
Yes, my favorite
and
Zelda.
I got the Pokemon. Oh, so good.
Yes,
so
very,
good.
very
fantastic weekend. Got to do a live podcast, which is something that for us within a year starting the podcast, to be able to do a live podcast and to have it go so well.
Yeah,
was
it's like
really,
it's a bucket
really cool.
list thing. You know what I mean? It's an amazing thing to be able to
100%.
do, and I think also like what a great way to start a new season, finish out season 2, do a live show, and then get back into season 3, which I want to say a big thank you to everyone who's still listening. Thank you for continuing on this journey with us. We got to have a lot of exciting things to do today. And also, thank you so much to our Patreons as well, who have been constantly popping in and supporting, even when we're not here, even when we haven't been recording an episode over the last while. We do want to add extra rewards. We feel we need to give something back. You know what I mean? Would you like to make a little announcement of what we might be bringing on into our Patreon? Now, first of all, the stickers, we ordered them, right? They had a little problem. They had what I would call, they came out microscopically, it had a micro peen issue. It came out very tiny, and they were not growers or showers. They were...
No, they weren't.
And it was the most I laughed in a very long time.
I was sizing them up thinking it was like 4 inches wide by 3 inches tall, like similar size to an N64 cart. But I was sizing them in centimeters.
Yes.
And they came out tiny.
I just saw...
like they'd come out of the dryer or something.
I just saw... Nisha sent me a video saying, Keith, look at these. And he said, I just wasted 150 fucking euro on fucking stickers you can't even see. And slapped them onto the desk, and I was cry laughing. And then we looked at the back of our cards. And I think there was a misprint on the cards as well. You're like, fuck's sake, man! We had about 60 grand worth of merch all misprinted.
Oh, again, very on brand.
Very on brand. In fact, we might actually use those misprinted stuff as some very special first edition. They're gonna be worth a fortune in a fucking couple of years.
But yeah, so we have our Patreon, and we wanted to give something back, and the initial plan was we're going to do cards, and we have our business card that Ben designed for us, and the stickers that Ben from Laser Steak designed
which
for us.
Which you still will get, by the way. It's just we have to get the big ones
proper
printed.
Size ones. But now we're going hard, and we're going to be adding in something.
We're going hard. The big erection selection.
We're starting a new podcast, or not a new podcast, but an extra kind of, what would you say?
I would say what we are doing here is it's easier just to say what it is, I guess, right? So we will be giving a little extra nuances. It's not going to be any of the episodes or anything like that. Everyone will still have them. It's going to be a thing called Retro Ramblings, which is one of our original title names for Press Any Button to Continue, where we're going to talk complete unplanned shite for a half an hour on some topic that we feel whatever comes to our minds. So
whatever we want.
If you like the part where we go off the rails, this is going to be a very more condensed version of even going further off the rails. So as a little extra thank you at the end of today's episode, we're going to try a little recording, and we'll add it on up there. So if you'd like to support the podcast and like to keep it going and get a little bit of something extra on the side, Patreon.com/Press Any Button to Continue. Yeah, and nothing is changing with Press Any Button to Continue. The regular podcast is going to come out every second week, so you don't have to subscribe to Patreon. Oh, of course not. No.
The podcast behind the paywall. It's just something extra. Like, the goal is a weekly podcast. So this way, if you're supporting through Patreon, you're getting a podcast every week, basically, because we'll be releasing Press Any Button to Continue. The following week we'll have the bonus podcast through Patreon, and then the following week it'll be back to a standard episode. So again, if you do support on Patreon, you just get a little something extra. We'll just tickle you a little bit more with our retro ramblings, and I think it's a nice addition to the Patreon. It's essentially just a little extra boner at the end of a podcast that we'll record a little something. Boner podcast. A little bony boner. We'll still have all our topics, so you'll still get the standard full produced thing, and then you'll get the real incoherent, unedited shite that comes out of our mouth for can we really go hardcore on Patreon? We can do whatever. We can be like, you can bleep this out, right? Bleep this out. You can be like, fuck. I won't kill you. I won't kill you. I never thought about that. Actually, we don't have to reserve whatsoever through that one. So not like we overly reserve anyway. Like every so the OnlyFans is going to be on Patreon. Yeah, the OnlyFans, essentially the podcast OnlyFans, which is our number one requested thing, will be on that. With all that out of the way, we better get moving and slaying, because we're literally going to run out of time. Oh yeah. Okay. Do we have anything else keeping wise? I don't think so, do we? Housekeeping? No, that was it. Gamerfest live podcast all the cool people.
We met Irish Panda Queen as well. Hello, Irish Panda Queen.
Irish Panda Queen as well, yeah. There was
and
loads,
the Aurora
there was loads
Phoenix
of people.
and Uncle B Games and Arcane Pain and Alba,
yeah.
and
So many
everyone,
cool people.
all the cool people. So thank you. Right.
Yeah. And today's topic, so we're back. And hold on. It's our 1 year anniversary. Fucking hell.
Oh my God, how did we forget that?
How did
Where
we
are you
forget
taking me?
this?
Tell me the date you will take me on for our 1 year anniversary. Plan it out for me.
The 22nd of June. What date are we on today? It's the 11th of June. It's nearly our 1 year anniversary of the podcast. 2 seasons, 20 episodes, 21 episodes, including the live one as well.
It's
you know
true.
what I mean?
The one that got cut. The one that we were mortified because the one fucking time we had a guest on, it didn't record.
Oh, Mary.
Yeah. That's our 21 episodes. So we had 2 episodes with Mary because the one, like out of any one that could have happened, it had to, and then we had to go back and go, sorry, we're kind of fucking incompetent, but the thing didn't work, so can you come back? Thank you. It's like, and then we're like,
And we do have, definitely, I won't say the name yet, but someone we were talking to at Gamerfest agreed to come on the podcast, and we'll wait until we get their 100% confirmation.
And you better, whoever this mystery person is, you better prepare yourself for maybe recording 3 episodes, because something tells me it's going to fail twice this time round, because we have a good track record of luck, so you know.
But the 1 year anniversary, man. How do you feel about it? I know we're gonna run. We're not. Fuck it, man. We can take as long as we want. What do you think? Hold on. Now let's reminisce over the podcast for a minute. I want to reminisce. I want to get romantic. And
season
talk
3, 1 year anniversary.
Season
reminisce.
3. I think that's cool, man. I like even saying it out loud. Season 3, I think, is really fucking cool. I think it's been a fantastic year. It's been so much fun for me as a creative outlet doing the podcast and getting to know you personally and on the podcast, and I'm proud of it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for
I
sure.
really am, as something we've done, and it's so much fun.
It
is. So I haven't, remember I was telling you there's a certain way you speak, and you know when you were a kid and you used to get really excited about something, you get that lump in your throat. I hadn't had that since I was a child, and I could remember it, and I thought it was something that was kind of lost with age, and it's only now that me and you have started the podcast that I've gotten that level of excitement again. So it's taken like 20 years later, that level of excitement. When we're talking about video games, when we're talking about cartoons, when we're talking about schoolyard stories that we're going to be talking about today, it's just, it brings that nice, happy feeling back up me, and it's amazing. So I'm so happy with it, man.
No, absolutely. It's funny because it really does take 2 absolute nutheads to try and, like, you know, bring back that feeling, right? It does really take, like, and he said, and then it was coming, and then I said, and then you just piss your pants and you're like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there is that definite kind of like vibe about it. And as I said, like for me, it feels like we've been doing this for decades and no time at all. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think because there's obviously the fact that there's such there's such comfortability in us acting the complete idiots, and like you know, that kind of excitement and, you know, energy that comes with it, that feels like we've been doing it forever, but then at the same time has that very freshness, and it's only been a year. Do you know what I mean?
It's crazy,
and it has been so fun, and I feel like the live show for me doing that was that's something I've never done before, right? So that was something that was very new for me, and that was such a fun staple of feeling like, you know, we really created something. Do you know what I mean? And that, you know,
absolutely.
that there's people along for the ride with that are enjoying it too. And, you know, me getting to call over to visit you and getting to be in your environment and, you know, getting to hang out with your family and stuff was just so lovely. Do you know what I mean?
It was great, yeah.
So,
really nice.
I mean, all, like, you know, it's just a win-win-win. You know what I mean? We're getting to do something we love. We get to do it with each other, you know, really erection selection, you know, raw dog each other all the time. It's fun. You know, we get to relive the excitement, and we get to, by doing the podcast, we're like reigniting our own passions and what we love. Do you know what I mean? It's almost like you're almost taking stock of what you appreciate in the world when you do this podcast. Do you know what I mean? You're reminding yourself in a positive way of like those little different joys of things in life that make you happy, and then we get to have the shared bonding experience of doing it too. Did you ever think we would record? Do you ever think we'd get to this point?
No, at the start, and I don't mean that in a bad way.
No, I totally understand.
Because at the start we said we've talked about this before, how at the start, we genuinely were like, we'll record an episode and we mightn't put it out. We have to make sure we're both happy with it. We're not going to just put it out for the sake of putting it out there. So we genuinely didn't know how it was going to go. I didn't even have a fucking microphone. It took us about 40 minutes to set up my
I will
headset.
still never forget the time.
Fuck off.
Nisha, oh my god, it's my favorite picture ever. Nisha was like, sent me a photo. He was like, oh, what can we use for recording? And he opened up this, was it like a care package you got from Coke or something, was it?
Yeah, Coke sent me
and there was like
stuff, yeah.
there was a picture, I guess, like in my head, maybe this is wrong, there was 2 cans of Coke and a headset, right? So he took a picture of the 2 cans of Coke and a headset, but of course he's like, in case I was curious to what the headset was, he circled it in green text and sent it to me. And then from then on I kept ripping the shit out of him by just circling random things that were clearly obvious of what I was sending him.
Do you know what? I was like sending you a picture. It was like a big box of merch that they'd sent me. And I was just like, I just want to be specific, even though what else am I going to be using the fucking can of Coke for recording?
Yeah, it was so funny, man. The fact you circled it specifically, I fucking was howling.
Yeah, that was funny. But yeah, like, and again, we hadn't actually had a conversation there. So although I'd seen you on stream and I thought, you know, you seem like the kind of person that I'll get along with. I feel like our personalities will work well together. I didn't know, me and you hadn't actually had a conversation, a one-to-one conversation. So at the start, I had no clue as to how it would go. And then even at the start with I used the little headset microphone that I have on this. It was, I didn't know how it was going to go, but it wasn't until we put the episode out there and the positive feedback we got off people, I was like, holy shit, this is really fucking nice. And then as it went on, and then I think it's like episode 4, you're like, you say at the start, like, are we still doing this? This is mad at episode 4.
Sure.
And
I forgot about that actually.
I didn't anticipate it getting to this stage and then getting to do a live podcast, which is fucking crazy, like, in my opinion. Like, it's really, really cool.
That's definitely one of the coolest things I've ever done. Doing that,
too, me too, man. And all the people coming to see us, which was really fucking nice, and people coming up who I've never met before, who might follow us online or follow the podcast online. And I didn't anticipate it getting to 21 episodes, 22 episodes, and like we're going straight to 30 episodes now. We have the plan.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy because it's like, it's interesting that you said in that 4th episode that it's like, it's like, oh, we're still doing this. And I think that's actually probably a credit to having continued doing, because we had no aspirations.
Yeah, very true. That's,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We didn't set this bar. It's like, we want to become like the best video game podcasters in the world. We were just like, no, we took it day by day, and we're still taking it day by day. Do you know what I mean? And that's what keeps it fun, though. You know what I mean?
But it does keep it fun, and it's like you said. You actually mentioned to me before. I think you were saying that you were talking to one of your buddies, and you were talking about how you feel like one of the reasons why me and you work so well together is I don't know your stories. You don't know my stories, so it's all new. So you get an honest and genuine reaction to like me talking about video games and shit that happened when I was a kid or whatever throughout my life, and the same vice versa. Whereas if we'd have done it with someone that we'd know all the stories, you'd have a little chuckle about it, but you wouldn't get the strong like reaction.
You wouldn't get the what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly, man, exactly. Like you wouldn't. So I think that's another reason why.
Yeah, that might be a little bit of the secret sauce, that like, not having had any conversations before doing it, but also committing to at least trying it. Do you know what I mean? So it's like there's always a story, and there's a lot of stories today, man.
Yeah, there's so many. There is so many. We
have not just our own stories, but we started including, because we were asking people last, what were your favorite episodes from the last season, and I think what resonated with a lot of people was something like the rentals and the sleepover stories, because everyone has those stories that they relate to, and then we send them in and we read them, and it's like the nostalgia that comes from that. So we had the idea that we wanted to have, for the first episode coming back, we wanted people's stories again, and we wanted to include the community. And we always, I think as this goes on, we both agreed we want to, having realized how many people are inspired by the topic alone, to write in their stories. It's such a nice way to have that connection with people who listen to it, you know. So
yeah, absolutely.
I'm excited to kick on in.
Me too, man. Me too.
Will we do it?
Sucking our own dicks for the last half an hour.
But, you know, sometimes, you know, when you're finished a live show and you've done your 2 seasons, you have to take a step back, give yourself a hot minute, and fellatiate each other. Bring yourself to fruition. Work the hammy shaft, squeeze, choke the chicken, and just squirt that dirt in the velocity of your viscosity right into your depravity cavity. Let that custard chucker fly and leave those panties sunny side up. And in the background, all you hear is like, Tina Turner's dead! Very quickly, can I tell that story very quickly?
You set me off.
Hang on. No. I have to tell that's the intro, by the way. There's that complete random jerk off story with Tina Turner's dead in the background. Just very quickly, I couldn't stop laughing. Oh my god, we're half an hour. Okay, hang on. Shh. Okay. So I was in the shower, and Emma, my girlfriend of 7 years, never heard this voice on her before. She was out in the living room, and in the shower we live in an apartment, so like, you know, I could hear her. And I was in the shower, and it just sounded like there was a 1950s paper boy who was trying to sell papers to distinguished gentlemen. And all I heard was in the shower, it's like, Tina Turner's dead. Tina Turner's dead. Breaking on Tina Turner dead. Tina Turner dead, man. I was like, what? I know. Every so often, I'll just be sitting there doing nothing. I'm like, Tina Turner dead. Oh.
Oh, stop it. Oh, you haven't even started, man.
It's like,
it's so funny.
Tina Turner, Tina Turner.
Because it does remind me of what it would be like when people are selling papers and they're shouting the headline. That's the headline. We're not laughing at Tina Turner, by the way. It's the announcement of what happened.
You know, Tina Turner lived to be a good age, I believe. Do you know what I mean? We all have our time, and sometimes a paper boy needs to announce a famous person's death, and in this case, it was Emma. You know?
Yeah. You're just voicing what all of the fucking. Right. Schoolyard stories. Welcome to season 3, episode 1 of Press Any Button to. I don't have an echo. To continue.
Do you want me to do it for you? I'll do it. Do you want me to?
Go on.
Are you jealous of my echo? Yeah.
Slightly, yeah.
Welcome to Press Any Button to continue. The two boys are back, and Tina Turner's dead. Oh my god, the echo. Tina Turner. Tina Turner dead, lads! Breaking fucking no Tina Turner died! Get your paper, 50 shilling Tina Turner dead! Oh, what has become of us?
What the fuck? We should just cut this off, and that's retro.
Yeah, we actually should start the episode again.
Oh, fuck.
No, this is far too funny to leave it away from the prying eyes of someone else.
Right, schoolyard stories, right? We're talking about the good old days of being in schoolyard, and there's, for me, one story that we've gotten, one thing has been like... One story has been the most popular.
Holy fuck, even I'm a little bit dizzy today.
Oh, I'm just giddy because, you know, we're back, baby, we're fucking back. Right, schoolyard stories.
We're back, baby, we're fucking back. Schoolyard story.
Schoolyard stories. There's, everyone knows, like, collecting stickers for your sticker book.
Do you know what I think
cards.
is? Allow yourself to... It's
be
so
giddy.
It's funny because you have to do. Do you ever see that kid? Oh my god, it's the funniest fucking video ever. Do you see that kid trying to do a presentation and a friend is laughing at him and he keeps going and he's like, the capital of, he just points, look. He won't stop. Do you know, it's like you're going to have to allow yourself somewhere a level in between laughing and telling a story, because otherwise you trying to be dead serious is going to lead you to laughing.
No, it's not. Yeah, because I'm just laughing even more. I'll give myself a bit of leeway. So, listeners, I've come back down to earth.
He's come back down to earth. He's floating down slowly.
I'm floating. I'm flying like the dudes in Dragon Ball Z, which we'll get to later on. I don't know why I laughed like that.
That was potentially the worst segue I've ever. Holy fuck! That was so bad. It was 10 out of 10. Even
Thanks.
your own little evil chuckle. All right, okay. Schoolyard Stories, season 3, episode 9.
I think you're gonna have to start us off with me, Keith. I can't.
All right, okay. Well, by the way, I don't want this edited out. Because it's far too good. All of this. Okay. We'll put a timestamp. We always say we will. We will officially put a timestamp in.
Yeah, we will.
Okay.
Got it. Right, go.
Welcome back to Press Any Button to Continue. Season 3. I think it's episode 9 at this stage. It's been going on so long, but I think it's episode 1. It's Schoolyard Stories. We have our own stories. We have your stories, from toys to the food to the rumors to the just... to just the fundamental abuse people just gave each other in the schoolyard, to the games, to the stories. Okay. Come on, lock it in. We got this, baby.
Right. the most popular story we got, right? No, I'm doing it, right?
Go.
Right, you ready? The most popular story we got was Pogs. Who remembers those little circular motherfuckers? Pogs, beautiful. You get the plastic slammer. You have the metal slammer. Remember there was Chupa Chups?
They had their own the lollies. Pogs.
And and they had the big canister case that you could stack all your Pogs in. And you were gonna say it looks like a dildo.
I wasn't gonna say anything. I was literally just laughing at how erratic you sound. Who remembers Pogs?
It was only as I said it I realised it looks like a dick. But Pogs was overwhelming. When we asked people on our Discord and people on social media and everyone for stories, even I asked my partner what if this morning we were out for a walk and I said, do you have any memories? She's not into gaming or any kind of that kind of stuff, and the first thing she said was Pogs, because it was so like Pogs took the world by storm. It was almost like Pokemon. That's how popular Pogs were back then.
I feel like Pogs were just dying as I was sentient.
Oh right, yeah.
So like I remember the remnants. I would see them around the place, but like Pokemon took over Pogs. Now there was Pokemon, but I was like 1999, I just moved from... I had a really weird scenario, right? So the school I went to is next door to my house, okay? But it was a mixed school till first class, and then the boys had to be kicked out. I don't know what the logic was behind that. But anyway, so it was like... because it's an all-girls school. I think it is just an all-girls school now, but there was about like 6 lads in my class. And so in second class, which would be... I was about 7 years old. It was 1999, I think. I went to my school... that I went to then for like the next 10 well not 10 years, the next 8 years or so. And when I got there, 1999, anyone will know, was the Pokemania year. 1999 is when that was like rampant. So the Pogs were just like, there were still Pogs around, but it was definitely like Pokemon was really taking it over at this stage, I remember. But Pogs were class. There was Beyblades, there was Digimon, there was Tech Decks. Do you remember the skateboards? The little mini skateboards?
Yes, I do remember holy shit! Yes, I do remember Tech Decks. They were fucking deadly, man. They were off the kind of the popularity of Tony Hawk and all. Holy shit!
And you had your own little kit that you could take off the wheels, and and everyone would show you your tricks. You'd be like, "Watch this, bro." Like fucking Ollie 180.
Fuck.
Suck my dick.
Yeah, they were deadly, man. Shit, I totally forgot about them in class. Yeah, but Pogs were like definitely the most popular. Well, from the stories that we've gotten anyway. I can remember it so well. I can remember I used to like, what is the little Pog character? Is he like a Tasmanian devil type?
Again, you see, the thing is, Pogs, like, I don't really remember too well.
Right.
And I purposely haven't read the stories, most of them, so they're fresh for today.
Right, well, I'll tell you what, and I haven't read them either, so I don't know what story is about what, so I can't pick out a Pog story for you know what I mean?
No, we'll get to them. I think if we go through our own first, and then we can get to theirs, it will all make sense.
Right. Well, I can remember, and someone mentioned this, right? We'll get to it, right? Pokemon cards, right? Everyone collected them. Everyone loved them. They're still very well loved. Mentioned how
no one knew how to play them.
Nobody knew how to play them. I never once had a fucking Pokemon bat. Well, I can vaguely remember trying it once or twice, but it was like we just swap at the end.
Oh my god!
You know,
podcast idea. Yeah, we should have our first ever Pokemon trading card game together through the podcast.
Oh my god,
we should do our very first game.
I'm writing it down.
Because I've never had a Pokemon trading card game, even though I've had the cards all my life.
Either, yeah. Pokemon, yeah.
And we can do an audio description of a Pokemon trading card game. Genius! Now, will I just get into some of my memories? Will I get the ball rolling into different things?
Far too. My brain's all over the shop.
No, it's chaotic in a really, really good way. It's hilarious. First of all, right, so there was toys. There was Beyblades, there was Digivices, there was Furbies. I mean, if you brought a Furby into school, you were a daring person, you know what I mean? That thing just going... Or when it was dying on the low batteries, like, kill me. And then there was obviously like the Game Boy, the DS period. But and of course, when I think about school, I have to think about the lunches. I don't know why they come into my mind, like the classic treats you would have got. So I'm thinking like, like the Winders. Do you remember Winders?
Yeah. Like a big chewing gummy type thing.
Like you rolled them out. There was a comic strip on the whole thing, and there was like, it was different flavored, like fruit flavors, and they were like chewy little Yokama jokes. Or the penguin bars.
Penguin bars, yeah.
Now, for those who don't know penguin bars, I'm not sure if they're worldwide famous. They were little chocolate bars.
They should be.
You should be, and they had the world's worst jokes on them. So it'd be like, they'd be like, to give you an example, which I looked up earlier, of some of the worst penguin jokes were,
I'm gonna love this.
What you call a happy penguin?
What?
Do you have any idea what you call a happy penguin?
I don't know.
A penguin. Fucking awful.
You see, man, I'm a dad, so this is cheesy dad joke 101 here.
You'd like it, I'd say, alright.
I love it. Hit me with another one, please.
What is black and white, black and white, black and white?
What?
A penguin rolling down a hill. That one I just remember. That one I didn't even have written down. It's the shock. It got him hard.
Lord,
but seriously though, do you remember as well though? Like
wagon wheels.
They weren't my type of thing, but they were a classic. Right. But do you remember like how heavy your school bag was? Like there was literally 60. Like it was just the
broke up.
Like people I know literally have back problems today because the 60 kilograms. Like you could walk uphill or downhill and still be brought back. You were moonwalking. You were moonwalking with a 60 kilogram of books, and then you'd forget one fucking book. You'd be taken outside and you'd be flaked and whipped down the fucking place. It was.
And you remember someone would grab your bag, and because you'd be so back heavy, you'd just fall over.
Someone literally, it would take you fucking scoliosis, like early onset from those bags, man. Do you remember being pocketed as well, where someone would grab? Did you have uniforms?
Yeah.
Where someone would grab your front pocket and tear it off. You would just come over and fucking... like, people would be naked leaving the school at the end of the day. There'd be stampedes of children running around the place. Or do you remember the term sketch?
Sketch, yeah, sketch. It's like, watch out when a teacher's coming or an adult is coming, So
we had a scenario that was... I was crying thinking about this earlier. A teacher would leave and everyone would literally try and create as much chaos as they could. So teacher would go, it's like, right, stampede. Like people just be running into walls, mashing their heads against the desk. Literally, I remember someone literally grabbed a kid, tore off all his clothes and fucked them into a corner. And then people would be like, sketch, he'd be sitting down. Your man would have like semblance of half his jocks just fucking half on him. The teacher would be back and like, what the fuck has happened, lads? I remember as well, we had blazers, do you know? I remember one guy didn't do his homework, so we all piled up our blazers in a corner and we hid him under it, and he got he got away with it the whole time. Or another classic move was like so you'd have desks with two people sitting at a desk. Yeah. And a teacher would go around asking him for the whole thing. He pretended to look in his bag and he never came out for the full 40 minutes. And the teacher forgot he existed under the table.
That's fucking genius.
Oh man, we had it all. I remember I used to only do one question of the homework, but I would make sure I would get to read it out so I wouldn't be picked again. So I'd only ever do a third of my homework at one time. I think I mentioned that before. Will you pick me?
Yeah.
Sir!
Clever tactic.
Yeah, it was good.
See, I was like a fly in the wall in school, man. You know what I mean? I just quiet, kept to myself, didn't cause any havoc. I was the person getting his clothes ripped off me and fucked in the corner. But I can laugh about it now.
Our school didn't really discriminate. Like there wasn't anyone who was just someone would be randomly picked. So at least you didn't feel like you were being bullied. You know what I mean? It just felt like today was your day. Today you
was
get
your
the
day.
abuse. It's only fair if everyone gets it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
But
a good way of doing
obviously,
it.
there was that one kid though who was way tougher than the rest. That when you did it to him, he'd end up kicking the shit out of the 20 people trying to take all his shit. Oh my!
That's what I learned, man. I can laugh about it now, but that's literally why I learned how to fight and did Thai boxing for years from school and being picked on. And then I was like, right, I've had enough of this shit.
Yeah, I'm taking it down.
I'm gonna kick the fuck out of you.
I was the definition of an in-betweener. I was just like floating between the realms. I wasn't a cool kid, but I wasn't like I didn't get too much attention paid to myself either. Let's put it that way. Do you know what I mean?
The glory days of 90s and early 2000s,
dude,
fucking Catholic Ireland school, man, was fucking insane.
It's
wasn't
so
it?
funny, dude. Like some of the shit, man. Right, so I was talking to the lads earlier, and like first of all, like I told you the book box story with the potato, didn't I?
No.
Oh my god!
I think so.
Having a school story with potato is funny. This is a Richard story, right?
Okay.
In 4th class, we had to bring in potatoes and paint them.
Right. I vaguely remember something along those lines when I was a kid.
And I obviously, like, you know, with all that, we literally had like 50 books in a book box and in your bag.
Yeah.
And I guess the potato was at the end of my book box and I forgot about it. And so our book boxes were under both our desks and Richard was sitting next to me. And I was like, when I was getting my books, like, I was like, Jesus Christ, Richard, you stink. So Richard was like getting really self-conscious. He was like, what? Like, I was like, I went under again. I was like, man, your pants fucking reeks. And he was like, what's happening? He's like, stop. I was like, I don't know what's going on. It reeks. So for like a whole week, I was like, Richard, man, your pants constantly stinks of shit.
Jesus.
Like, I wasn't actually trying to, like, I was generally
you were just
like
pointing it out.
I was like, what the fuck is going on? And at the end, it turns out there was a fucking potato rotting at the bottom of my book box
You're
for the whole
joking
time.
But I can. Oh no, I won't. It's too violent.
Why don't you tell the story and we can cut it out if you want to?
Well, my little brother Luke, who is like one of the most beautiful souls I've ever met in my entire life.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of my favourite people on this entire planet. But when he was very young, he was a wild child. You know what I mean? And now he's like the coolest dude ever, but he was a wild kid. And I remember when we were in primary school, if you were bad, you had to stand up at a certain point against the wall, like facing the wall, if you did something bold. And during the break, I noticed Luke up there. And later on that night, he was like writing lines. You know, he didn't write the same line.
Oh, the worst
and over
punishments,
and over.
man.
And it
Some,
was like, I will
ridiculous
not smash, or I will not smack other boys' heads against the wall. He was fucking nuts.
Oh my god, dude! That, like, everyone's had that though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think were you in all boys school?
Yeah. Oh, and primary school.
I can't tell you. Like, I don't think all boys schools are very good. I don't think they're a very good thing. Yeah, but it's the same, right? Like, you don't live in a world where it's just Lord of the Flies is what an all boys school is like. Yeah. And let me just tell you some of the fucking Lord of the Flies fucking stories I fucking have here, right?
Go on.
And I don't think I'd always send my kid to like a mixed school or whatever. Do you know what I mean? I think it's kind of. But they have seen 100%. Though that being in a mixed school from a statistical point of view benefits boys a whole lot more than it does girls. Not that it doesn't affect girls poorly, but like it's a far better thing for boys to be in a mixed environment than it is to be in Lord of the Flies bashing each other, drawing dicks all over the walls forever. Well, anyway, okay, so first of all, right, do you remember we used to play soccer football in the schoolyard at lunch, and there was one like semi-deflated ball that everyone used to go around. But you remember Megs? Megs is where you kick the ball between someone's legs, and then everyone runs up and beats the shit out of him.
No, I've never heard of that.
So it'll be like Megs, and everyone just be fucking like. Again, this happens everyone, right? Yeah. And I was in a. I mean, my school must have been crazy, but like literally, or like when someone. The most unified thing in the world, if someone fell off their chair, the entire school, I'm talking hundreds of kids, would run in and go, she fell over, and like literally it was in unison, like pointing.
Jesus, kids are cruel bastards, aren't they?
Oh no, it was all our favourite time. Like you'd hope it would happen to your best friend as well in particular.
Oh yeah, one of those.
It was one of those
brilliant.
Beautiful thing. Or I remember when the canteen opened, it was like a stampede. It was the stampede from The Lion King with everyone running and literally people grabbing people and like literally throwing them out of the way. One time someone got thrown so hard out of the way that they fell through the wall.
Fuck.
Dude, his whole
Through the
body.
plasterboard?
No, through the whole wall, a hole in the wall. His whole body went into it. And his name, I'll just give his first name. His name was Kevin. And there was a Kevin-shaped silhouette in the wall for another month every time you passed it. So there was 2 things in the canteen, which was a donut or like a sausage and a bun. And it was like, oh, here's ring, ring, ring. And everyone's like, you get the fuck out of the way. Like people literally grabbing people by the feet, pulling them back, flaking onto the floor, throwing people through walls, and then literally flaking people over the queues. And like, it was literally jail, man. It was literally jail, man. Oh my fucking God.
Oh, this is gas. I can't believe how insane. See, I haven't reminisced on stories like this in so long, man. It's so good. Fuck. And I can remember the chaos. I can remember the chaos again.
It's so funny.
I was usually sitting on the sidelines just watching the crazy people be crazy, and I was sitting there silently crazy. But like, I can just remember seeing the fucking absolute havoc. And the one thing you said about when a teacher would leave a class, it was like someone would just get like this adrenaline rush, and they just stand up and look for how can they be destructive.
Oh, so yeah, there was that craziness that when a teacher left, that we would purposely try and cause as much chaos as we could.
Yeah.
And then there'd be the person who always took it too far, because when the teacher comes back, you kind of have to have a semblance. Like, but one person would literally just take someone's bag and fuck it against the fucking whiteboard. And then the teacher would be like, "Who the fuck threw that?" Like someone would be like, you know, doing a thing where they're pushing each other or throw their copy on the floor, and then one guy would just get a lad's entire life supply of whatever they had, pick it up and just fuck it against something.
Do you know what, man? Actually, it is very, very funny, right? Only time I was ever kicked out of class, right, for disrupting the class was when my friend Simon and I were in Irish class, and we just, like, kind of similar to what just happened at the start of this episode, where the two of us just got so giddy where we couldn't stop laughing. And no matter what was said, the more we were told to stop laughing, we just couldn't stop laughing. And it was, I can't even remember over what it was, but I can remember, like, the teacher, I can't remember her name, but she was just like, right, if you can't stop laughing, get out. That was the only time. That's how quiet I was in school. And it took ages for her to actually throw me out, because I was the quiet one. Like. But I can remember just getting that, like, that hysterical, and we were out in the hallway then, like, on the floor laughing. We just couldn't stop.
But when you're not supposed to laugh, man, it's the
so
funniest.
Funny.
I always remember as well being like, we had to do so much, being in like a Catholic school, we had to do so much mass stuff, and we were like in choir, we had to do, you know, I don't know, like, there'd just be some fucking mass thing would have to do, like, could be communion and confirmation and stuff like that as well, but like, you just see someone's shoulders going in front of you for no reason, you're like and you're like, it's a contagion of just shoulders, and like the teacher would be like, "Boys, shut up," and you'd be like and then you look over at your friend next to him, and he's literally turned into a tomato, like holding onto his breath, bright red, sweating, beads of sweat, veins popping out of his head. And you're like, telling someone not to laugh is the most pointless thing in the world.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh my God.
Absolutely. It's so
Jesus Christ.
I need to, like, calm myself down, man. I'm so...
Nah, this is
but
good energy.
Fun. It's so fun, man.
Oh my God.
Will we get into the stories? Because we've loads of stories.
We do.
Man.
I'm just gonna run through mine really quickly. Is that okay?
Right.
I'll just do like a quick list off, okay?
These are your personal stories, sorry.
Yeah, they're a mix between my personal stories and some that my friends who went to the same school as me told me. There was one guy who used to smoke behind the bins, and we were like 12 or 13, right? And some lad went outside, let's just call him Billy. And he was like, "Lads, Billy's fucking smoking." And everyone came out and said, "Go on, you legend, Billy. Go on." And then everyone formed a line next to him. So like everyone would like form a line, and then he'd be like going out smoking a cigarette, because we're all like, you know what an idiot smoking or whatever.
Yeah.
And then we'd all clap for him walking all the way into the
For fuck's sake.
Oh my fucking God. I remember being put into a bin several times as well, like people like literally, it would just be like, again, it's just your turn to go into the bin today. Like 6 lads would literally pick you up, like take all control away from your body and just put you into the stand-up bins. Oh my fucking god, man! It was just your day to be binge. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And you could tell as well. You could tell when it was coming because it would come for someone every day. You could tell because the lads would be like, "Right, you see him over there," and someone would point at you, and you'd be like, "Oh fuck, it's happening." Or we used to play soccer, and Richard used to just kick our legs because he couldn't kick the ball. So he'd come in, he'd ram you into a corner on the concrete and just start kicking you. Oh my god! We also had a game in soccer where there'd be two teams on either side of the wall. It wasn't soccer. We'd have no ball, nothing, and one team would just have to get through the other team and reach the other side of the wall, which also led to all of our uniforms being completely torn off us. Yeah. It was like playing rugby with no ball on concrete. It's just one side to the other.
Just destructive.
In terms of some more gaming related stuff, there was I remember, this is a Wind Waker spoiler. Have you played Wind Waker?
I have, yeah.
So for anyone who didn't know, the day I found out that Zelda was Tetra is Zelda, I went into everyone, I was like, lads, Tetra is Zelda, and they were like, they weren't at that point in the game, so I just completely fucking spoiled it for them. Oh my god! And Richard was,
what a game.
You know the classic stories as well of like a kid in class being like, my dad works in Nintendo. Yeah, you know, like the rumors and the lies.
Yeah.
And one guy was to Richard was like saying that, you remember Bionicles, the Lego?
Yeah.
And one guy was like, there's a Bionicles 2 coming out because my uncle works in a Lego. And he like printed off like a horrible like free build photo of someone who just made like a random creation. Oh my god. There was also in third class we were painting Warhammer, and everyone in fourth class started sniffing the glue. I just remember they took all our glue.
Jesus.
The glue never came back. I don't know what happened, those lads. This is a really weird story. There's a cleaner that used to always wear a condom, like a sock. Richard was telling me there's this guy cleaner who's like, yeah, always have the Johnny on. He just wore it like a fucking sock or something. I didn't know what this was about.
I'm scared. Fucking scared.
There's oh my god. There was also a guy who said there used to be a cheat code for Rayman 2 that you could play as a glow box, and he said use the password LNAX, and we were like, it was completely made up.
Are you serious?
But it's funny how those stories come around. Yeah, we also did a Super Mario Bros tournament in 6th class, and the winner got a $5. Yeah, with the link cables.
No, hold on. Yeah,
it was multiplayer, Game Boy Advance.
No way.
And Richard won that. It was a final battle between John and Richard.
No way.
And he got away. And me and John used to always sit next to each other and do drawings, and we had to be separated because, like you, we kept laughing and got kicked out of class just for a laugh. We used to draw the teachers. And it was a whole thing. And then there was that dude who went through a wall.
Man, I actually can remember I used to draw out Super Mario Bros. Levels in school. I'd create my own level. So like the original Super Mario Bros. I'd draw my own levels, and I can remember drawing Sonic in the levels as well. And I used to always get pissed off because I could never quite get Sonic's like spikes looking the right way I wanted it. Do you know what I mean? It's like, remember when you were drawing a Christmas tree when you were younger? There'd always been like a fucking wonky branch. I could never get the spikes quite right. I can actually remember drawing Pogs, the Pog character as well, actually, funny enough. But I'd remember that as well, drawing, and the guy next to me drawing levels, because we sometimes swap seats, and I'd be like, oh, can we draw a level? And like, I'll join my level onto yours. And that's actually only after coming back to me now. That's fucking mad, man. I haven't thought about that.
That's really, really cool.
I can remember it being in computer class, so there seemed to be like no limit on how much we could print stuff off. So we would, like, after school, we'd go into the computer class, and there was loads of computers, and you could print as much as you want. And I remember we used to like design our own websites and stuff back then. But me and my friend Simon were in a band and together, and we used to print off tabs, guitar tabs and bass tabs. And man, when I tell you, like, I'm talking hundreds and hundreds of fucking pages of tabs. Like, how we, and like, there was no problem in it. Like, there was no issue. We would just print and print and print and print and print, and I could remember how hot the pages would be from us printing so many pages. And I can remember, because I remember we'd go to Simon's and we'd like be rehearsing whatever in his house, and he'd just have these stacks and stacks of fucking pages. Like, it must have cost the school fucking thousands.
But
like,
for all the emotional trauma the school caused you, it's fair enough. Do you know what I mean?
And also getting ringtones. So now this is something that younger people might not remember. like, do you remember you used to have to type in your ringtone to your like Nokia 3210?
Or you could make your own one as well.
Yeah. I remember we used to go on into the computer class and we'd find ringtones.
Yes,
and
they were like tabs for ringtones. That
yeah. And like Sweet Child of Mine by Guns N' Roses and the Halloween were like the two most popular ringtones, I think, of that.
And was that
era,
on
because
Ultimate Guitar?
No, that's where we printed our tabs off Ultimate Guitar.
I thought maybe Ultimate Guitar back in the day might have had like a mobile section.
I actually can't remember what website we get the ringtones on, but I do remember typing them in to whatever phone we had. You know, there was all different Nokia phones, and yeah, I can just sitting in that computer. I can actually picture that computer room right now, and I can honestly tell you this is the first time that I've thought about this computer room since I've left school, and it has blown my fucking mind now thinking about it, and the amount of computers that were in there, and the I can't stress like hundreds, probably thousands of pages we printed like all the time, man. It was fucking deadly.
I remember now that you're talking about the computer room, something crazy fucking happened where I think it was Richard. He had magnets. We heard the rumours like magnets will fuck up the computer. It's like, no, they won't. And Richard got a magnet and he put it on the big fat monitor screen, and the whole thing just went warped and fucked.
Serious?
And we were like, oh, no way. Fuck. Like the realization that you are about to die, like, because like a computer in a school, like those things were a fucking fortune in the day, especially. And we were like, oh shit. And there was a big thing for ages, like, right, who was it, lads? And we were all like standing up against the wall. It was like, you know, that shit used to happen all the time. Whereas like we'd all be held in. It's like no one's getting breaks, no one's getting their lunch. You'd all be held up against a wall, all this shit till someone starts crying. Basically, it was fucking crazy shit when you think about it. Yeah. Kind of funny retroactively, but crazy. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And did anyone snitch?
I can't remember. I'll have to ask him. I can't remember if he ended up saying it or not.
Or did anyone break, should I say?
Oh, I don't know. There used to be someone who'd be like, come on, lads, we have to, you know, they turn us against each other, you know, in that kind of way. Because it's like, you have to stay.
Psychological warfare.
Yeah, it's like you have to stay in school till someone owns up to it. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Pokemon's on after school.
Yeah, exactly, right? But I remember me and John used to draw these things called bubbas as well. We made our own creation called bubbas. And
what are bubbas?
Bubbas, we just made them up. They were a drawing we made up. They were a little character. And it would just be these guys with two eyes. And it'd have a little circular nose in it. He looked a bit like Ditto, you know, the Pokemon. And he had a little squiggly body. But what we'd do is they were like pop figures. So we would put Super Saiyan hair on them. We'd turn them from any show we want. We make like Pokemon versions of them, but they all had the same.
That's really clever.
Right? Really cool. I have books of them upstairs, and we call them Bubbas. And we used to make comics out of them. We used to. There was another one that Richard used to do as well called Toast, where he had the same idea, but he had a little toast, like a bread shaped thing, and he put different characters on them. So we had like our own thing where we'd add a flavor to them from a TV show onto their base body, you know, kind of like character creation. We had our whole things with that. It was a cool little memory of it.
Man, something is just after coming back to me. Oh my fucking God. Speaking about being artistic and creative, right? I remember for 6th year when I was in art, and one of my, like, literally my leaving cert exams was to create this mask, this clay mask. And I couldn't do it. I just couldn't get anything right. And I was really pissed off. And everyone had these mad creative masks. And everyone was looking cool. And one day I was like, oh, fuck. And I started again. And I literally just got my thumbs right. And I dug my fucking thumbs in for 2 eyes. And then I dug my thumbs in and moved them out for a mouth, right? And I was like totally joking. And like seriously, this seriously happened. And I wonder if it's still there. My teacher came up and was like, oh my God, it's a masterpiece. It's amazing. It's fantastic. And I was like, what? Fucking, and she's like, it totally captures the anger and the blah blah blah. And she was like, this is a fucking icon. She's like, we're gonna put this in the school garden and we're gonna get this made in cement and all. I was like, you're fucking joking.
Do you know what
you are fucking joking.
You literally did art therapy. You were so pissed off with something. You had something that you ended up making. You did it out of anger, and you made something out of anger, and you put your anger into it, and you created a piece that embodies anger for you, and then embodies the face of it. Like, that's one-to-one art therapy. Like,
holy shit.
If you were in an art therapy thing, then we'd talk about your anger, and we'd talk about what it looks like you looking back at your anger, because you made a face that you can look at and we can talk about.
Oh my God.
And it would be a whole thing. Maybe that's what you were seeing in it, you know?
Shit, man, you're after blowing my mind. Holy shit, you're after blowing my mind, man. Fuck. Thank you, Keith.
No bothers. It was
I feel
therapeutic,
better.
you know.
For context, Keith is an qualified art therapist.
I am. Oh, fucking hell,
I
dude.
can't believe it. That's after blowing my minds a little bit, man. That's really cool.
It's crazy, isn't it?
What do you think, man? Will we get into the nerdy stuff, geeky stuff?
I feel like this could be a 3-part episode, like, so easily. Do you know what I
We
mean?
could have a part 1. We could have a part. We have never had a part 1 and a
Never
part
had
2.
a part 1 before, but I suppose if we're going to go on to the questions of the people, we'll see. We'll see how we end up with it.
Right. Can I start off with a story that was sent to me via a voicemail? So
Yes.
I can't read it out, and I don't want to play out someone else's voice in case they're not okay with it. So Daryl from Thrift and Flip sent me a voicemail, right? And I'm kind of going to try and retell his story. So when he was a kid, they were in school playing Pogs, because Pogs were the big things. And you know, you could get metal slammers and plastic slammers, and metal slammers were really cool slammers, yeah. And his mom used to run marathons. So for a good idea, he thought, I'm going to take my mom's marathon gold medal and bring it into school and use that as a slammer. So he brought this gold medal in, and he was using that as a slammer, and it was really, really cool. But then I think his sister like told on him, and he got grounded, and his Pogs got taken off him, right? And he was told that they were thrown away, and he thought that was the end of it. You know, he was pissed off, Pogs were gone or whatever. And he said they moved out of the house, and he said it was only like, I don't know, I think he said it was only like in the last few years. So say that was 20 years ago, 30 years ago. It was only in the last few years that somehow someone in his family told him that they never threw out the Pogs, and they were just put up into the attic and forgotten about. And they're gone. And I said to him, I said, man, you know where that house is. I go back and knock on the door and say, here, can I just jump into your attic and see if my Pogs are
100%. That's
so
wild.
that's Daryl's story of how he used his mom's marathon medal as a slammer for Pogs.
That's crazy. I remember one of the biggest days as well in school is when someone had a first edition Charizard and the teacher tore it up in front of him.
No way.
Yeah, it was like a huge thing, and there was actually like a huge commotion over it, obviously, where the parents freaked out as well.
Yeah.
But because
Fucking
Pokemon cards got banned, and anyone who had them on them, they were like, we're destroying them if you have them on you.
What?
Yeah.
Are you serious? Yeah. Banned from our school?
Yeah.
Oh, no way.
Yeah,
Jesus,
that's
pretty hardcore.
Yeah, like our school was fucking kind of crazy. Like my school was like a semi-private school, and it was one of the most fucking crazy. Like you can tell from my stories that it's like one of the most fucking like
fuck, man.
Quite an intense place. Do you know what I mean?
Jesus.
Because it's like I think it definitely. Particularly, this was when we were in second class as well, so we were like 7 or 8. I remember him bawling, crying. But I remember, I think there was like 99, 2000. There was still a bit of that like Catholic strictness almost in it. You know what I mean? That was kind of like part of it as well. Now I was a teacher's pet for the most part. Like, do you know what I mean? Like I was a nerd. Like. But there was some like weird scenarios like that too, do you know, where they definitely went too far with stuff, do you know. Like, I mean, fucking, and I did try and trade all my Pokemon cards for a Charizard. That intro was not a lie. I did try and do that.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Miss Hatzer on Discord said, I traded my second-hand pager. A pager.
No.
Remember those? Remember before mobile phones, pagers?
No way.
For those who don't know what pagers are, they were a way of communicating with you. They're true bleeps. For now, my prized base set Charizard. Holy fuck. Trade a second-hand pager for a Charizard. That's something that was a good trade in hindsight. I must have been 12, and I spent all day working on this trade, offering all sorts from my collection, but the pager won the deal.
No way. That's crazy. A pager. They were like the coolest of the cool, weren't they? Pre-mobile phones. That's so cool, man.
There's an addendum onto that as well, which is, I was an absolute queen at making these, and I could do them any size. If anyone wanted to make these, they always come to see me, which was those triangular paper pieces that had green, red, orange, and you go, and you say, I can tell your future or whatever. It's like, pick a color, and they go, chomp, 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 chomp. It's like, pick a whatever, chomp, 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 chomp. It's like, you will be, and there used to be, it's like, you'll die next year.
Yeah,
or whatever.
Oh man,
the fortune teller
they're so
things.
cool. They're so cool. That's brilliant. Pager, I'd like a pager. That seems like the kind of old school technology I'll be obsessed with now. Retro pager Ireland, they'll be called.
I can see it.
Right, so I have a story here from Corey, who is a great supporter of the podcast. We met him up at Gamerfest. Absolute legend of a dude. I didn't read through any of the stories because I wanted to get I said to him, I'm going to read this out live. So this is Corey's one. So we were in 5th class, and my friend was trying to get all 251 Pokemon in silver, and he had 3 left. Fuck. one of which he was chasing was Entei, Entei.
I know, and it's a wolf dog, legendary dog thing.
Oh, the ones that move around the map.
Yes.
When you,
Yes.
yeah. So we spent a day's of lunch chasing the fecker around Johto in his game. We ran into him 5 times, and every single time he either ran or broke out of the Ultra Ball. So Friday rolls around, and it's the end of lunch, and we're in line ready to go back to class when in the last second, bam, Entei pops up, and we managed to use hypnosis on him, and he's on the smallest sliver of health. 4 balls in, and broke out every single one of them. Our teacher was telling everyone to turn off their Gameboys. That sentence just makes me feel happy. Our teacher was telling everyone to turn off their Gameboys, put stuff away, etc. So my friend threw one last Ultra Ball, and it turned once, twice, and bam, and it actually caught him this time. He was delighted with himself, but the teacher came up and asked why he didn't turn off, and flicked the switch on him, turned off the Game Boy, and he never saved it. He started bawling. What was worse was that when he tried turning it back on, the save was gone, and for some weird coincidence, the battery wiped and all his Pokemon were gone. He's 32 now, and I still don't let him live it down.
Oh my god. Whoa. So, like, that's a series of bad events. I was going to say that's as bad as it's not as bad as the Charizard technically, because someone's destroying your shit, but that's close. Like, the amount of the fact that the whole game deleted afterwards.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
That's crazy, isn't it? Oh, I'd be so disappointed, man.
It's probably a glitch, like, if the battery, because, the batteries usually would last years and then, but fucking hell.
Yeah.
Anyway, oh man, I'll keep going.
That's painful.
It is. Dinner Dog, who's a fantastic Patreon supporter, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Was it the game Knuckles, where an old Irish money 50p coin was flicked towards your knuckle and the first to start bleeding lost? This just explains our school years perfectly. I don't know if there's any younger kids listening, but like
fucking the Hunger Games.
It really, like, I'm not joking you, man. This is why I was laughing so much at how ridiculous, like, when I'm laughing at all those stories, it's because of how ridiculous they sound now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the fact we all got to fucking go off it. Like, everyone got, like, wedgied. The only thing I can say, at least, is there was equality in my school. Do you know what I mean? There was no one who got particularly picked on in my memory.
Everyone was fucked.
Everyone had to go in the bin, like. But yeah, 50p coin flicked towards your knuckles and the first to start bleeding lost. Obligatory hurley between your legs when you weren't looking, and 2 lads lifted you up by the bollocks. But it's so true, man. It's just such a fucking jail cell abuse. This is very clearly, you can tell the people who went to all boys schools. Do you know what I mean? You can just fucking tell the people who went to Irish. And I know we have many international listeners, but this is such a fucking Irish all boys Catholic school fucking. Like, there was no God. There was no God. There was no God between us anyway. Do you know what I mean? There was no God between us.
Oh, that is fucking
He also
brilliant.
said, I remember not being allowed out to play until I learned all my prayers. Fucking Catholic schools. There we go. 5th class primary school. Dude, I remember. Like, that is 1,000% that too. Do you know what I mean? I'm just making sure there's no other stories.
One of the responses to the question I put on Instagram was from Space Zamboni. Which I quite like that name. My brother traded me a Mew, and then he dropped his copy of Red. His data was deleted. So he obviously traded something important for a Mew and the Pokemon in the Game Boy, and then he dropped.
Oh, fucking hell!
That's similar to Corey's story. It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. It actually happened to me playing Pokemon Crystal, and the data got deleted only recently. And it also happened to me when I was playing Link's Awakening on the Super Nintendo, and I plugged it into my Super Game Boy to play it, and it deleted my save file after about 10 hours.
If they're an old game, it will do that because the battery in them dies. The Game Boy games, you have to replace them. Like, I was trying to play that pirated version of Pokemon Green and I couldn't save it. Even though I managed to put in a new battery, I managed to use tin foil to get the connectors to work again and tape it, but then it dislodged and I lost it, so it's like, fuck, I can't do it again. Laserstick said, I came into school with the link cable. Also, Ben, you cutie patootie, fucking diddler and fiddler of all our stuff. I came into school with the link cable the year everyone got a Game Boy and Pokemon for Christmas. I was a god. Dinner Dog just responded to that saying a king among men. And I have a well, I'll read out another one just from Ben there, since it's kind of, part of the same parcel. I got an awful shit before at school over this one. So after lunch, 2 people would go around and pick up all the litter with those little grabby gun things. I remember them from the playground. Outside and unsupervised, what wasn't to love. Anyway, me and another guy got picked this day, working away, and I found 2 pretty much full jukeboxes of Ribena classic. In a stroke of genius, I hashed a plan. I stacked the 2 boxes on top of each other around the corner and called the other lad. And when he came around, I jumped on the Ribena, absolutely demolished him. Our school uniform had white shirts, so it was now soaked in purple juice drink. And it was pretty hard to deny what I did to the teacher. I was never asked to be a litter picker again. Oh my
man, do you remember getting a little juice box? Like, that's something as well. From you're talking about lunches and stuff like that. Your little juice box,
yes,
a carton of Ribena, or
your
a little bottle of Sunny D, or something. Remember when that came out? Frubes.
Or do you remember Dib Dab, where everyone used to try and pretend it was like cocaine and snort it? Do you remember that? And there was the
Did you actually try and snort it?
Yeah, and there was the candy cane. There was the candy cane cigarettes that people used to go around pretending they were smoking as well.
That was fucked up, man, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's pretty.
And then obviously there was people sniffing all the glue from the Warhammer.
Those people were fucking partying hard in school.
They were, man. They were.
Right. Next one I have from Instagram is from Once Upon a Quest. Is I remember 2 girls fighting over an unfair Pokemon trade or Pokemon card trade. I'd say somebody traded and then was like regretted it and wanted it back, and the other person was like, "Oh, fuck you, it's my card now," and they just fucking started swinging.
Oh my god, I could see that happening easily though.
Yeah, easy. Yeah,
because you had the regret of like, no. Remember you said no swaps back, no takes back.
Yeah, no take backsies or no takesies backsies or something.
No takesies backsies.
Just for keeps. For keeps. That's for keeps was the big thing.
For keeps. No takes backs.
Are we playing for keeps now? Are we playing for keeps?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh, Luke said, awesome episode idea. Thank you, Luke. I have vague memories of having a stack of Pokemon cards held together with elastic band. Oh my god, terrible idea, by the way, for preservation of Pokemon cards, but I remember this too. Yeah. Later on, there were Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and if I had a piece of Exodia, you were cool. My favorite card was Relinquished. I could never understand how it was good when it only had 1 star. Anyway, Beyblades were awesome for a minute too. We had a little arena thing to battle at lunchtime. I remember them, and I remember, let it rip, and I remember my fingers being torn apart from the Beyblades. They used to spin around. And also remember I told you I was a Beyblade technician, and I tried to I took money to fix the guy's Beyblade, and I super glued it together. He's like, thanks, and the second he launched it into the arena, it blasted into 1,000 pieces again. Beyblades were awesome for a minute too. We had a little arena thing to battle at lunchtime. Once I discovered Slipknot and metal music, a black band logo hoodies were the new thing, so our love for Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Beyblades were left in the primary schoolyard. Best of luck with the episode, guys. It's just
man, that band hoodie. Remember when they fucking took out? Oh,
I don't know if I remember them. What are they called?
God, man, I can remember this. It was just everyone had a black hoodie with a band's logo on the front. I can remember my brother had a
like
Marilyn
Nirvana.
Manson jumper.
Yes, sorry.
And like people be afraid.
And everyone was playing Manhunt on the PS2 or something.
Yeah, no FX jumpers, Korn jumpers, Cannibal Corpse, like all that shit. Like that just fucking took over, man. You could get them in Asha Boutiques in town, which was on the top floor of Stephen's Green Shopping Centre. It's like it was like the emo kind of cool emo place. Jesus, that's after bringing a fucking back to me, man. Holy shit. That was around the time when skateboards, so I must have been like about 15, 16ish, I think. Fucking yes.
The chain, so cool. The chain on your face was coming into fruition at this point, I'd say, was it?
Yeah. It was around that time, yeah. It was around that time. Brilliant. We have one here from Ushin 420.
I know him.
What a name, Ushin.
I love when you read the name. I feel like it's like small PP all over again.
Yeah, small PP. Yeah. Once traded a Brothers of Destruction slam attack for every Stone Cold card. Brothers of Destruction were Kane and the you're on WWF. Kane and the Undertaker were Brothers of Destruction for 420. So good. It's so good.
Oh fuck.
Oh, brilliant.
Teapots and Dragons. Hello, Teapots. This isn't responding to Laser Steaks Ribena story. You just reminded me of when we were kids and doing the same litter picking, and me and Melissa collected a load of baby frogs from around the school pond and put them in our coat pockets to take home after school. It's safe to say the teachers were not pleased. Frogs do not stay in coat pockets.
Oh, brilliant.
Oh, my God. Fucking hell.
I remember we had a pet mice when we were younger, myself and brother Aiden, and they obviously had babies and they ate through the cage, and they were like, all the neighbours said they had mice in their houses because of
wait, you had pet mice and they had babies, and the babies because they could fit through the cage, is it?
No, they bit. I don't know if it was them or the parent mice.
Oh yeah.
They bit through the cage.
That's some serious parenting. It's like, you will not have the life I had, be free.
It was crazy. I have a response here from Ginger Bee.
Oh, what a fucking legend.
I was playing Pogs at school and running away because I didn't want to give my Pogs up after losing.
Just like, bye.
Yeah.
It's like, it was worth it.
Oh, so good. And sorry, I do have sorry, no, you go ahead, because I've like a four-parter here I have to merge together.
Yeah, no bothers. I'm doing a little bit of that as well. By the way, if you're enjoying these stories and you'd like to put in your stories for next time, do drop a follow on the Instagram. Which Instagram is Press Any Pod?
Instagram is at Press Any Button Pod.
Press Any
Twitter
Button Pod.
is at Press Any Podcast.
Sure.
And there's a link. The Linktree link has Discord,
and that's the updated. Yeah, actually, so yeah, we'll put in. We have the Linktree up on our Spotify, do we?
It's on all our socials. Yeah, it should be on Spotify as well. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, so if you want to put in your stories, if you want to know how you can, put in your own stories as well, just in case you're not on any of them. Discord is probably the easiest way for me to announce it, or Instagram, I'd say, is where we do it most. Alexis, how are you doing, Alexis? I remember I was playing with friends in like 5th grade, and I remember feeling like I had to shit. This is embarrassing but hilarious, so bear with me. But from being, I don't know what age at the time, I didn't want to miss any of the fun. I remember doing this too, and I pissed myself. I remember that specifically. So after having fun running around and whatnot, I remember the feeling just got worse. But of course, me being the people pleaser and idiot that I am, I didn't want to miss any of the fun. So I literally ignored that my body was trying to tell me that I really had to go. So as we were playing, me and my friends decided, we got to sit down and do some origami on the floor, because that's a fantastic idea. I was literally trying not to shit myself. And well, what do you know? That's when my body decided it'd be the perfect time to shit. It was one of those wet ones too. I generally have no clue how I ended up surviving the rest of the day, because that was years ago, but oh well.
Jesus Christ. Look, it's happened to us all. I was saying.
Oh my God. Sorry, Nisha. I
needed support with that remark.
I know, the only time I recall shitting myself was in bed, when I had a dream about shitting myself and I squirted a little bit of diarrhea in my panties. Because obviously I had a thing, and what I woke up and I was like, oh shit, I squirted a little in my pants. So then I took off my undies, looked at them, and it looked like it was like a little plooge of shit, and I was like, I'm just gonna fucking wrap this in a plastic bag, put it in the bin, went into the toilet, spread my arse, cleaned it out, fucking back into bed, never told anyone until today. So there was literally shitty underwear in my parents' bin in the kitchen for like a week until it got taken out.
Oh my God.
They thought I was dead.
I have a response here from Harry, the glorious Harry K. One of the coolest photographers around, one of the coolest dudes, fantastic retro
con, like.
Yeah, very, very cool. So Harry says, oh boys, do I have a tale. So obviously back in the day, Charizard was the card everyone wanted. Mm-hmm. We all tried for weeks to pull one and never could. Then my mate George finally pulled it. He was the king of the playground for weeks. He took it with him everywhere, keeping it in his Velcro wallet. You know the ones.
I do.
Anyway, one fine summer's day...
I had a Dragon Ball Z Velcro wallet, just to let you know, in school, yeah.
Class. Anyway, one fine summer's day, he whipped his Zard out to show off, and all the foil had disintegrated due to the heat and sweat in his pocket. It was totally ruined. Safe to say he was distraught for weeks. No one else ever managed to pull one.
Dude, how many destroyed Charizards? Fuck.
Yeah.
Think about the poor history, like. But you know
Yeah.
what? There's something about the story that sometimes, unless you're a collector, is more important. Sometimes the story is more important about remembering, right? What something meant to you as a kid and how valued it was. And obviously it's a bit traumatic in that. But there's something about the nostalgia that comes with the story, everything around it. You know, there's just something in that in of itself that can be more important sometimes, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's fucking... I love these stories so much, dude. I fucking love this episode idea.
So good.
Ritter, I think, I don't know if I ever pronounced her as a Cofane Ritter or Gar, as I also know Gar as. I'm going to probably add a few stories, but here's the first short one. I remember growing up, my brother would tell me the tales of Echo the Dolphin on the Sega Mega. Yeah, what a game. Really weird game, actually, as the game went on. Got very alien-esque. When we played through the Sonic games and the 12-in-1 demo cartridge over and over. One day in school, I was talking with a classmate, not one of my close friends though. We got to talking about the Sega games and he mentioned Echo the Dolphin. He had a lot of interest in the Sonic games and a potential short-term trade. I ran home after school and negotiated the details of the trade with my brother. He was more than eager for me to get his hands on Echo. So, is it Eco or Echo?
Well, I call it Echo.
Okay. I showed up to school with Sonic 1 and eagerly awaited Echo the next day. I waited the day after that too. Then 3 weeks passed before Echo finally showed up. I didn't get to play the game much and the next day he brought Sonic back saying he had completed it and wanted Echo back. I don't know why, but I just didn't question and returned Echo having played around 30 minutes. I was in school with this girl to 18 years old. I never really forgave him for this. I wonder, does he still think about this? I wonder, does he still think about it? Just shows how much you think about it, and it's just fucking glorious, man.
I don't know. I tried Echo recently on Paddy Game Raider recommended it, and I tried, but I couldn't get past the first level. I didn't know what to do.
Oh my god, man! Fucking hell!
I have one here that is the only story of this fad, and I remember this fad. Yeah, it's from Cahill. Fanta and Coke yo-yos were huge when I was in first year, 1993.
Oh, sorry, yo-yos being the string and the thing you pop up and down.
Yeah,
sorry.
yo-yos. Yeah,
some people I think call them different things in different places.
Do they?
I think
yo-yos.
So. I think so.
All right. We'd crack them open and glue 2p coins inside so they'd stay spinning longer. That's very clever. My head teacher, Miss O'Toole, threw mine in the bin one day and felt so bad about it, she bought me a new one on the following Friday. But man, I remember when Coke and Fanta, and there was Sprite yo-yos as well, where that was the fucking hot shit of the Schoolyard.
I think I remember Sprite.
Trying to do the tricks and the walk on the dog was the one that everyone could do.
And they would light up some of them. Do you remember the ones that lit up?
Yeah. Man, they're so fucking good. Holy shit. He's the only person to mention, Cal's the only person to mention yo-yos. But I have that memory in my head. It was fucking yo-yos, man. So
I do as
good.
well. That's
Holy
gas.
shit, man. That's so good.
Wise Guy said, "Hey, I'm a wise guy. I'm walking here." Sorry. Back when I was in elementary school, the newest Beyblade TV show, Beyblade Metal Fury, had premiered and the craze was back in full swing. Every day at recess and lunchtime, you'd see, I love hearing, like, you know, recess and elementary school. You know, you really get the Americanisms of it.
American style, yeah.
Every day at recess and lunchtime, you'd see all these 1st through 5th graders huddled around a table with Beyblade battles raging on. It was a blast. I made sure I got all the best Beyblades so I could win every time. Sadly, you know, sometimes the Beyblades don't like to stay in the arena and would bounce out. The spinning metal tops of death would hit me, would hit the surrounding children and gathered around watching. I remember one slit a cut on my cheek. Flew out, nearly took my eye out, like, swear to God.
Fuck.
So yeah, it would hit the children gathered around watching the battles take place. Well, after some time, my school got tired of kids getting hit and banned Beyblades, thus ending our fun.
Jesus.
I have never forgotten it. To this day, I still have all my Beyblades, and even now in my 20s, I'll get them out and have battles to relive the nostalgia. I have found out that the original Beyblades are going for over €1,000 a piece.
Fucking hell, yeah.
Yeah, and I have all mine upstairs.
Shit.
Because it did.
No
Well,
way.
this is what someone said to me in chat the other day. If you had because there's Dragoon, there's Dronzer, there's Drasil, there's all the Blade Breakers they were called, which is the main team of the Bladers or whatever. And so they were the anime characters. I don't know if you watched the show growing up.
No, I'm not. I know what Beyblades are, but it wasn't something I ever got into.
And apparently, like, those original ones now are kind of like fucking supposed to be worth a mint.
Jesus, yeah. Wise Guy, the same gave me a shortened version. Obviously elaborated on the Discord there. That's fucking saying that school banned Beyblades. That's crazy. Like, schools to ban something like that is so extreme, in my opinion.
Oh,
like,
it happened to us all the
Pokemon
time.
cards.
Everything got banned for us. Everything
really,
we had in was banned. So
I can't
we got to the
remember
point
a
where you
single
couldn't
thing.
bring in anything. Like, so Pokemon cards were banned, Beyblade were banned, Yu-Gi-Oh was banned. Like, anything you can think of that we started bringing in to have fun with was banned.
Jesus.
Like, 100%.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, I have another one here from Sean to Dovecon. I possibly butchered that name. Sean, I apologise.
What is it, sorry?
So it's Sean to Dovecon. Says, I'm a primary teacher. I had one child in infants, which is 3 or 4 maybe, asked me to colour copy Pokemon cards to trade. So does that mean like draw new Pokemon cards?
Oh no, I think he means colour copy as in a photocopier. Copy the Pokemon card, cut them out, make them in cardboard and fucking make his own little fucking business.
That's fucking genius.
A little young entrepreneur coming in. I used to be like that myself, man.
The Beyblade technician.
Oh, the Beyblade technician, Kevin. Did I tell you my Kevin story?
I don't think so.
That as a kid I had an alter ego called Kevin that used to go around.
What, did you?
Yeah, that used to go around the house. He was a repairman. I had real screwdrivers and I used to go into my kitchen and rip cupboards off the wall and then call my mum on a pretend phone and be like, oh, you need to call Kevin as I must fix this. So I used to go around the kitchen just screwing things in and unscrewing them so I could screw them back in, and I'd stand at the top of the stairs and be like, Mum, call me. I'd be like, Dula. It's like, hi, Kevin Fixer here. And my mum would have to be like, some cunt just broke something in my kitchen there. Can you please fix it for me? You were the one who broke it. I used to also have my own cinema where I used to get my parents. I had a CRT and a VHS player and I had GoldenEye. And I used to force my parents to pay a tenner to go in and watch the movie in my room. And then I'd close the door and I'd play outside and they'd have to watch the whole movie. I would literally lock them into my room till they came out.
Oh, that's so good, man.
Okay. I don't know if this is a reply or not, but Ritter again says, I always remember playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And my friends making up extensions to the rule in the effect of the effect cards. He would then proclaim that he said it in the rule book but not in the card. This tower of lies came crumbling down the day I got my own starter pack, and the rule book literally contained nothing specific to any one card. Dinner Dog replied to that saying, I had a dipshit of a friend who would convince me he could go into the game Super Mario Bros. NES, but I couldn't be in the room for it to happen. He's like, I can teleport myself inside it, but you can't see. Like a tit, I went out of the room each time, believing him. Additional context, I was about 6 or 7. I'm just going on the train of conversation here just because it won't make sense without it. I also remember everyone having Pokemon cards and nobody having any idea how to actually play the game. That was from Ritter, by the way, I guess. That came on in there.
I have a few more here from Instagram. So there was one from There You Are Now, which is a cool name. I absolutely loved collecting and swapping Pogs in school. Will be a super cool day when you get a slammer home. Or you get a slammer to bring home. Love collecting stickers too, which is, I have some cool stories about stickers. Used to have a folder with these plastic folder sheets with all my stickers on them. Used to bring it to school and swap with the other girls. You used to be able to buy rolls of them in the pound shop. Used to think it was the bee's knees. So, having like a really slick folder to have all your stickers.
Yeah, or you remember you used to get chewing gum with the stickers with it. There was like chewing gum you could buy that had like stickers for football or Pokemon or whatever, and you'd have the
tattoo stickers.
Yeah,
do you remember that,
oh fuck, there's so many. And the shop, I used to love getting magazines as well, with like the Jackie Chan cartoon talismans or like animal magazines that came with like stuffed toys and stuff.
Yeah. Remember, you'd get a magazine and it'd be like a collectible. You'd have to say it, and like it'd be like issue 1 is 99p, and then issue 2 is 10.99.
Yes.
Like, you had all these issue 1s with this one piece of
like it was like build your own Mercedes, and it's it would take you 25 years or something, and it was like, and we go out of print by issue 7, and all you'd have is half a fucking car.
I remember I had one, and it was building like it was a model of a T-Rex, and it was like these glow in the dark bones, and I got halfway through and I was playing with it one day, whatever, and I snapped it in half by accident, and I was devastated, and I just fucked it in the bin, then stopped collecting.
Well, there's no worry about it, because my bone glows in the dark too.
I have another one here from Macaulay Ruth, who says, playing Tamagotchi. Man, fuck Fucking Tamagotchis. I remember
And
how popular they were.
who just got a
95.
recent Tamagotchi themselves?
Me. I
You
have it here.
do.
Have it here behind me. Thank you very much. Keith brought me up what he calls the box of nostalgia. And it was an incredible gift. An incredible gift of loads and loads of different bits. Pokemon cards, which I have in front of me as inspiration, and I'm going to hold it up to the camera to show Keith, because Keith has a story about how he used to puncture holes in his Pokemon cards, so destroy them basically to put them in a little binder. And I have a Caterpie here, an original Caterpie which you have
An original
punctured
Keith
holes
Caterpie with punctured holes to go into a binder.
that you gave me. But man, the artwork on the original Pokemon cards are so fucking cool. And you have the trainer cards with all the different bits and bobs, and then the energy cards. Just the design is so fucking good. But yeah, Tamagotchis were so... I can remember like the stress of trying to look after a Tamagotchi. Quite an advanced thing for a child to be looking after something like that. But and also the story of the time I went to guitar lessons and thought it'd be very cool to hang a Tamagotchi off the end of my
That's
machine
specifically
heads.
why I gave you Tamagotchi, because of that story. Because I thought you could hang it
brilliant.
again, you know what I mean? I thought bring back the days. I remember specifically giving my Tamagotchi to my mum to mind when I had to go somewhere, and she was
you serious?
responsible.
Yeah.
She was
No way.
responsible for fucking feeding it.
And did she look after it?
She did. She managed to for the most part, I think.
Very good, very good. And I have a last one here on Instagram from Samwise McGamgee. Said, trying to figure out how to find Mew at the truck by the SS. And yes,
check out if you want to
yes.
have a look at some
Fucking
all
retro
of video
rumors.
game rumors. Season 1, episode 2 of Pressing A Button to continue. Do you know, I'm kind of proud of ourselves. I just realised that we've unintentionally been slowly evolving into a nostalgia podcast.
Yeah. Look at, I'm cool with that, man.
No, I am. I mean, video games is obviously the form, but like really, like there's, you know, it's nice because I feel like obviously for the first time as well, the community are giving their answers as well.
That's cool.
They're, you know, they're just going into their memory banks, and it's really, really cool.
Oh, it's great. Like the sleepover stories and retro renting, like they're fucking. I love hearing people's stories. It's and like I don't think I've been as giddy as I was at the start of this podcast since I was a fucking child. Like it's been cool.
It's been really, really good to get back on into it.
Oh, big time. I have a few bits here, a few bits and bobs. So a few things that we didn't get mentioned in stories that I remember specifically is Goosebumps books. Do you remember when
Horrible
Goosebumps
histories?
Came out? Horrible. Oh my god, yeah. Holy shit. Goosebumps books, horrible histories, yeah, man, fucking. But I remember specifically Goosebumps. Like I can remember the library. Oh my fuck! I'm just having a moment here where I'm picturing it. Like,
beware, you're in for a scare.
oh, fucking! Like I'm just after picturing this library for the first time, like in well over 20 years. I can remember the library in school. Remember, we used to have like a book fair in primary school. Going in buying Goosebumps. I can remember that was everything, and it's really clever because everyone just got into reading, which is great for kids.
Do you remember Captain Underpants by any chance?
Yeah, I didn't get into it or anything, but I remember.
Yeah,
I do remember
that
it.
as well.
Yeah, Captain Underpants. Yeah.
Was there Alone in the? There was.
Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yes!
Was a TV show with Ryan Gosling, who's also in La La Land, which is also something you brought me in my box of nostalgia. Because me and Keith are in love with Ryan Gosling. So Goosebumps. Here's one that you don't see talked about anymore, right? And they're called Crazy Bones.
I remember them.
Do you remember Crazy? The little plastic figure monster things.
I do.
And you'd like flick them at each other.
I do.
And you were like clear, really bright, colourful. Do you remember them?
I do.
If you can get
I
the picture in your
also
head.
remember going to it. We had a stall in a place. There's a place near me called Wilton Shopping Centre. My mum would take me there every week after school, you know, kind of Friday when I could get a toy, and there'd be like this really like kind of shite, you know, stall, but it had like my favourite stuff that I'd play with. Like it had toy katanas, but also
nice.
do you remember those little aliens that you had to put in water and they grow and
Yeah.
and you had to grow your own alien and stuff,
Yeah.
shit like that, or the little fleshlight wank
monkeys.
things that like, you know, those things.
Oh, they used to go, wow.
No. They were just a rubber thing, right? And it had liquid in it, and it had little floaty things in it, and you could squeeze it, and you could whack it, or you could finger it.
Yeah, I do remember that.
It was literally
the precursor to a flashlight.
Yes,
Literally is.
literally precursor
Oh
to
my
a
God,
flashlight.
it
It was giving you, yeah.
Crazy Bones. Did you Google it? Did you have a look at the pictures?
I did.
Deadly. Man, the Pokemon cards, right? We all know Pokemon cards. I think it's so funny that we weren't the only ones who didn't know how to actually battle. I do remember my friend Kinger said there was a comic book shop in Dunleary shopping centre that used to be called WoW Comics, and I actually have some Pokemon magazines that I still have the WoW Comics bag in my house.
Mm-hmm.
And he said he can remember going up there and seeing the Pokemon battles going on in the comic book shop.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually have now I wonder, is this worth anything? So I have an original first edition Japanese Pokemon cards, like what's it called, starter pack, like the box. So not just a little small pack, the foil one, like a big cardboard.
The one that all the small ones came in.
Yeah, and I have like a shiny Charizard, and it's like I'll show you afterwards. It's just in there. I don't know.
What year is it from?
I'll check.
99,
like. It's always, it's like, I'm fairly sure it's a first edition one.
You have a first edition Charizard,
but it's Japanese Charizard.
That's probably even better.
Yeah.
Well, maybe Japanese first edition Charizard seems to go for definitely like 500 quid anyway.
Serious, yeah, that's pretty cool. But I have one of them. But Kinger says he remembers seeing.
Wait, sorry. Apologies, that's not a first edition. Okay, so first edition Japanese base set, rarely symbol 1996, 79 grand.
Fuck off, Keith.
I swear, if it's a first edition,
the
Japanese from 1996, right? If it's perfect, 79 grand. There's also
a fright here.
there's also a hollow one here that's going for 8 grand. If it's first edition, obviously it depends on the condition of it. You know what I mean?
I wonder now. I'll have to go and check that out afterwards.
The non first edition ones are going for anywhere between £120. That's pounds as well, by the way.
Yeah.
To 4,000.
No way. See, I don't know if I think I'd rather just keep it. I think the memories are more important.
I think when it comes to 80 grand, I would consider it.
Well, look,
80
if it was
grand
worth
being
80 grand, man, it'd be fucking
euro
gone.
or something
along
those lines.
But if it's worth 500 quid...
Oh, I agree. I 1,000% agree. If it's not a life-changing amount of money that can help my family or something, I'd be keeping it. Do you know what I mean? If it's something I can earn in a couple of weeks or whatever, I'll keep it.
Yeah. But Pokemon cards, so cool. I can remember it took over the fucking world by storm. Pokemon, trading Pokemon, playing your Gameboys. But sticker books, man. Collecting stickers.
I had a Pokemon sticker book.
So did I. And I remember, the big thing was football stickers, Premier League stickers. Yes. Yeah.
I pretended to like football for the longest time. To a point where I think I tried to convince myself I did, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I liked playing it. I had FIFA 2002, and I had my stickers, and I would try and watch the games. But I think I know retroactively I loved playing football. And I didn't mind watching it, but I know retroactively I was trying to force myself to like it more than I did.
Me too. Totally, just to fit in with everyone else. I was 100% the same. I really didn't like football. I didn't like playing it because I wasn't any good. I didn't like watching it, but I collected the stickers because that's what everyone else in school was doing. Everyone wanted to have number one. It was always the coveted ones. But I remember there was Super Mario Bros. 3 had a sticker book. And Street Fighter had a sticker book, the Merlin stickers. And I remember collecting sticker books for them, and there was only a select few of us who were collecting the same stickers. So it was really cool. We'd be all huddled. Everyone else would be playing or swapping Premier League stickers.
Yes.
And we'd have our Merlin, Super Mario Bros. And Street Fighter. But I do remember one time, so it was, my mom was pregnant with my brother, and, she was in the hospital going to deliver the baby, whatever, and so I was staying down in my granny's, and I was a bit worried, a bit upset or whatever like that. I was young, didn't know what was going on, and I remember my mom's partner at the time, Luke's dad, bought me a full box, right? So I'm talking, you go into a shop, right, and there's a box of stickers, with you pick out one packet, of Street Fighter 2 Turbo, whatever it was, sticker books that I was collecting for. He bought me a full box of them, man. I can remember the exact moment I was sitting on the stairs in my granny's house when Carl walked in and gave me this box, and I nearly shit myself, man. I was just my brain melted, because as a kid, you never think you're going to get a full box. You always get one packet, 2 packets, whatever. And I remember sitting there for hours opening up, and I remember going to school the next day with just this
You would have
insane...
had everything then.
Yeah, I'm fairly sure I think I still need one or two, but
Because I
I basically
remember
almost filled the book.
I remember people did that with Pokemon cards where the parents would go in and actually buy them the box that the box
No
came
way.
in. So they'd be
No
like, I
way.
think at the time it might have cost them like £200 or something.
Fucking hell.
And you were guaranteed a Charizard in that then, I think.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of like, so if you bought like the box where maybe like, I don't know, it was 100 booster packs came in or whatever,
Yeah.
you would have been guaranteed then that you would have a Charizard, Blastoise,
No
and Venusaur.
way.
I think
It's like fucking
I think you're
Willy
guaranteed
Wonka and
that there's
Golden
like
Ticket or
one in
something.
every thing or something, you know?
That's crazy, man. But yeah, I can remember getting those stickers, man, and fucking it just fucking blew my mind. Because we could never get a full box or anything like that. I do remember actually when me and my older brother Aiden, my dad would take us for the weekend. We go down to my other granny's, right, and there was a Shell garage around the corner, and there was these cards. So not like they were like football trading cards, like kind of like baseball cards, if you will, and that you could only get in the Shell garage, right? And Aiden went up and he'd picked up like 3 packets, and it was when people had stickers on them. They weren't scanning barcodes; they just type in whatever. And he held it up as if it was one packet, like facing the guy, and was like, just the one packet, please. And he had like, I don't know, fucking 3 or 5, whatever amount. He had a few packets of cards in his hand, and your man just typed it in. And I can remember like being like, we're going to jail, oh my God, we're going to jail. And Aiden just slick as fuck just turned around and walked out. And I remember going around the corner being like, fuck.
Yeah, the
These
excitement, man.
These cards. Oh man. Fuck.
Oh,
The fucking stories, man.
There's
This is
so much.
is so fucking cool reminiscing over this shit, man.
I remember as well there was in Porter's, which was a magazine shop that had like you know, it like had everything, but I used to, and I gave you 1 or 2 of them as well in your box. They had Pokeballs, so I gave you 2 Pokeballs in that nostalgia box, and there'd be Pokemon inside it, and there'd be candy in it too. But as they went on, they had all the different types of Pokemons, like Ultra Balls, the Water Balls. So like you'd want to get all of them, and they're so fucking cool, man.
Oh man, been collectors since fucking day one.
Yeah, but going into those shops and just like, you know, those magazine shops, but like the magazines had the toys, like there was such cool collectible shit there. There was the stickers, there was the fucking Go-Go's, I think were also what Crazy Bones were called.
Yeah, Go-Go's, yeah.
There was the yo-yos in those type of shops. There was like, oh, it's just a fucking kid's heaven, do you know what I mean? And all the video game magazines having full-blown demo discs, which I started watching on stream, and they're the funniest fucking things ever. One of them has 2 busty Beyblades in the background, like rubbing tats on each other. Deadly. And there's a Burnout video, right? For Burnout 2 on the PS2 where they interview a real street racer. He's like, oh, I don't give a fuck. The fucks are bleeped out. He's like, oh, fucking police chase me all over the fucking place. And then the thing is like, Brian fucking something, like... dude, you would lose your mind. And there was movie trailers, VHS movie trailer styles for like The Bourne Identity and Ocean's 11 and stuff like that. And then there was a Tony Hawk's trick video with Tony Hawk's telling you how to do an ollie on a camcorder. These DVDs, like we watched them on stream, they blew our mind. They blew our mind. I have Super Mario Sunshine DVD telling you how to play the game, and some of these old game journalists, are still like around today. It's so cool. It's so cool.
Man, this is actually something that I'm getting interested in as a collector, is promotional VHS. So like I have one for Super Mario All Stars, and I've looked at a few of them online, and I find it so interesting. People just promoting video games, and it's man, I love that shit. Will you send me a few links or whatever?
Yeah, I will. I mean, all I have them is physical. Like I don't have them.
Do you?
Yeah, no. We were watching them through my backwards compatible PS3 on the demo disc.
Watch them next time they come down.
I have a disc bag full of them, so I was just putting on random ones. We were crying laughing at how cheesy some of the stuff was, though. Yeah. Like. There's little girls like, hi guys, you want to play Burnout? You want to burn out on these titties? It was just like, so fucking good, man. And all the old stuff as well for the hacks. There was like action replay, how to hack Pikmin to have more Pikmin. You know, like, it was like a GameCube memory card that you put in and a disc, and then you take the disc out and put in the real game, and the memory card holds onto the hack, and then you have the cheats in the game.
Deadly. That's pretty clever, isn't it?
But I guess that's another episode. I guess cheats in video games is an episode. Write that down.
Yeah.
We definitely have to talk about cheats in video games, like bobbleheads and Spyro and...
Sorry, this is for Claire.
I can't hear it.
Fake. Hold on.
Right, 5 stars, clear. I swear to God. Everyone rate the guys. Oh, we're 10 5-star ratings away from 100, by the way.
Oh, come on, someone, please. Sorry, what was that idea? I got too into the ASMR.
I don't know, but we have 8 minutes. we have 8. Oh no, the idea was cheats in video games and maybe promotional. Who knows? We have 8 minutes left before this kicks us off, so we must wind down.
Let's do it.
What a fucking episode! This is officially the longest episode ever now.
Yeah,
I think
and
so.
it was so good.
We got in everything. We got in a little bit of your stories. We got in all us being in bins and people being stripped. We got in people being thrown through walls. We got the trades. We got all the toys. We got the different snacks. We got the treats. We got all the stuff you buy in the shops. We got teachers abusing you. The whole thing, really. Not physically, of tearing your stuff. Cut that part out. You know what I mean? Like the rumors of it, like the whole lot.
That was fun.
Yeah,
that was a fun episode, man. I have to say, don't think I've laughed like that in an awful long time.
That was a belter. And
thanks everyone for the stories.
I think that episode is like pretty much complete in of itself. I don't think there's much work to be done to that. Maybe like some tunes or music or something.
Yeah.
And if you enjoyed this podcast, please share it with a friend. Is the best thing you can do.
It is. Help people.
Or if you enjoyed and you haven't already rated the podcast, that's a great help as well. Or if you really want to go the extra mile, we have our Patreon as well at patreon.com/press any button to continue, where we will be getting your N64 press any button exclusive stickers, and you'll be having a little tiny little extra snippets of our voices in the form of retro ramblings coming at you very shortly as well. So don't worry, they are on the way. So thank you for everyone who is doing that and supporting us, and thank you for everyone who came to the live show.
Yeah, thanks to everyone. It was it couldn't have went any better. It was so much fun. Had a really good time. We had a good crowd, and I really hope we get to do it again. Gamerfest, if you're listening, please. live podcast type 2. We didn't talk about Dragon Ball Z.
Well, I mean, that is true. We need to. Well, you're just watching Dragon Ball, which you're going to find out in your journey along the way with it. Yeah. Fucking. You just finished the Saiyan Saga, which I'm looking forward to see how you get on with the rest of it.
Oh, it's so good.
So, and you know nothing about it, which blows. You've watched Dragon Ball, but you haven't watched Dragon Ball Z, so this is all new to you. So, like, it's like you're a kid watching for the first time, which is insane.
It's just, man, and they go on, like the fights go on for multiple episodes. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, Goku, hurry up and fucking get there, will you?
Yeah, fucking, and then they're like, find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. It's like, will Goku get here in time, or will Nappa and Vegeta take out Gohan and Piccolo? Tune in next time on the radical episode of Press Any Button to continue. And it's like, it's over 9,000! Talk to you later, lads. Enjoy the episode. Bye!
Bye.